At 7 years old, Michael Oher was sleeping in a shed behind a stranger's house. He hadn't eaten in 2 days. By 23, he was hoisting the Lombardi Trophy as a Super Bowl champion. But what happened in between? That's the story nobody really knows.
It's true that we can't help the circumstances we're born into, but just because we started there doesn't mean we have to end there.
This is Michael Oher, and his real journey is way more incredible than any Hollywood movie.
You're not poor if you know where your next meal is coming from. That's one of the first lessons I learned growing up.
From Memphis, Tennessee, one of 12 kids, his mother struggled with crack cocaine addiction. His father was in and out of prison and was eventually murdered while Michael was in high school. But statistics don't capture what it was really like.
There were people who had food, and there were people who had to scrounge. Most of the time, way more than most of the time, I was in the second group.
Michael's earliest memory is from when he was 3 years old, walking down the street with his brothers, looking for somewhere to sleep. His older brother laying him down on the ground to change his diaper because their mom never came home.
Sometimes we'd get kicked out of one place and just wander over to another. Once, 7 of us kids lived in a car with her for about a month. We piled on top of one another to sleep, kicking and hitting one another, trying to carve out a little space of our own.
From age 7, Michael entered the foster care system. Over the next 9 years, he attended 11 different schools. He repeated first grade. He repeated second grade. His GPA? 0.6. When he was tested, his IQ came back at 80, which is the 6th percentile. By every measure, Michael Oher should have failed. But there was something different about him, something nobody could measure on a test.
Despite everything, Michael stayed in sports, basketball in middle school, and then in 9th grade, something happened. He started playing football. A guy named Tony Henderson, an auto mechanic Michael was staying with, saw something. He helped Michael transfer to Briarcrest Christian School, a private school in Memphis that was 99% white. Michael was one of the only black students there. His first year was rough. His GPA was 0.9. Teachers didn't think he'd make it. But then something clicked. See, Michael wasn't just big. He was 6'4", over 300 pounds. But it was his footwork, his agility, his instincts that made him special. And someone finally gave him the structure to use it. A tutor named Sue Mitchell started working with him 20 hours a week, not just helping him pass, but actually teaching him. And for the first time in his life, Michael had consistent meals, a place to sleep, clothes to wear.
And I started to see that I had 2 or 3 pairs of shoes to wear to school, and I had multiple pants. My mental health started getting stronger. I could focus on school, and my grades started to go up. I was eating so I could focus on other things rather than being hungry.
By his senior year at Briarcrest, Michael never got a grade lower than a B, but his cumulative GPA was still only 2.05. The NCAA required a 2.65 to play Division I football. So what did Michael do? He enrolled in online courses through Brigham Young University over the summer, grinding to make up for years of education he never got. And he did it. He qualified. On the field, he was dominant. By his senior year, Michael had Division I offers from Tennessee, LSU, Alabama, Auburn, NC State. He was ranked the number 5 offensive lineman in the entire country. He chose Ole Miss, and that's where the real transformation happened.
It's never been about football, but about becoming the best and fullest person I could be.
Michael's first year at Ole Miss was a 3-win season. Brutal. But even in that terrible season, Michael was named first-team All-American as a freshman. Think about that. A kid who couldn't read 2 years earlier was now the best offensive lineman in college football. And it wasn't just on the field. Remember that IQ test that said 80? By the time Michael graduated from Ole Miss, his IQ had increased 20 to 30 points. IQ is supposed to be fixed. You can't just get smarter. But that's the thing. Michael's brain was always capable. He just needed to not be starving. He needed stability.
He needed someone to believe he could do it. He made the honor roll twice, started 47 consecutive games over 4 years, never missed a single start, All SEC 3 times, unanimous All-American his senior year, finalist for the Outland Trophy as the best offensive lineman in the nation. And in 2008, he graduated from Ole Miss with a degree in criminal justice.
I went from the kid with a GPA in the basement to going to college on a football scholarship. I was thankful and humbled by how far I'd come in just a few years. I knew that miracles really do happen.
The NFL was calling, but where would he go? April 25, 2009, Radio City Hall, New York City, the NFL Draft. Michael was projected to go in the first round, but nobody knew exactly where. And with the 23rd pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Michael Oher, offensive tackle, Ole Miss. First round. Just like that, the kid who slept in a shed was a first-round NFL draft pick. He signed a 5-year, $13.8 million contract with $7.8 million guaranteed.
I came so far, from nothing to this moment. I'm just trying to take it all in.
His rookie year, Michael started all 16 games. He played both right tackle and left tackle when injuries hit the team. In his first playoff game against the New England Patriots, he didn't allow a single sack. The Ravens won 33-14. Michael finished second in voting for NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he wasn't satisfied yet. He wanted more. Over the next 3 years, Michael worked. The Ravens won 11 games in 2010, 11 games in 2011, 11 games in 2012. They were building something special. And then it happened. The 2012 season. The Ravens made the playoffs, beat the Colts, beat the Broncos, beat the Patriots. They were going to the Super Bowl. February 3, 2013, Mercedes-Benz Superdome, New Orleans, Louisiana, Super Bowl XLIV, Baltimore Ravens versus San Francisco 49ers. Michael Oher was the starting right tackle, protecting quarterback Joe Flacco. The game was back and forth, big plays, a crazy power outage in the third quarter that delayed the game for 34 minutes, but the Ravens held on. Final score, Ravens 34, 49ers 31. Michael Oher was a Super Bowl champion.
I came so far, from nothing to a Super Bowl championship. I'm in shock right now.
Picture that moment, from sleeping in a car with 6 siblings to standing on the biggest stage in football, holding the Lombardi Trophy, a championship ring on his finger. But the story doesn't end there. In 2015, Michael signed with the Carolina Panthers, and guess what? He made another Super Bowl, Super Bowl 50 against the Denver Broncos. This time, the Panthers lost 24-10. But think about this, 2 Super Bowls in 8 years. Less than 1% of NFL players ever make 1 Super Bowl. Michael made 2 and started both of them. His career? 110 games played over 8 seasons, 1 Super Bowl ring, 2 Super Bowl appearances, from homeless to champion. Today, Michael Oher is married to his college sweetheart, Tiffany Roy. They've been together since Ole Miss, over 20 years. They have 4 children, Kobe, MK, Kirsten, and Nivy.
If I pass a homeless person on the street, I try to be pretty generous with what I drop in their cup, because I know how it feels to be sitting in their spot.
Michael started the Oher Foundation, dedicated to helping kids break the cycle of poverty, because he knows what it's like. He knows what it takes. You might know him from The Blind Side, the movie, the book, but that's not his story. That's Hollywood's version. Michael's real story is about something deeper.
Don't ever allow yourself to feel trapped by your choices. You are a unique person created for a specific purpose. Your gifts matter. Your story matters. Your dreams matter. You matter.
From a 0.6 GPA to college graduate. From an IQ test that said he couldn't learn to honor roll student. From sleeping in sheds to Super Bowl champion. Michael Oher didn't just beat the odds, he proved that potential isn't something you're born with, it's something you fight for every single day.
People like to talk about Cinderella stories, but Cinderella didn't get her happy ending without lifting a finger. She had to show up at the ball. Of course, she had help along the way, but ultimately it was up to her to make the fairy tale ending happen.
That's Michael Oher. He showed up every single day, and he made his fairy tale ending happen. Hit that subscribe button if these stories inspire you. I got so many more incredible journeys coming for you. See you at the next one. Have a blessed day.